My mother was cooking us a dinner, tea, and me and my brother John was outside playing in the dirt. She didn't hear the other people singing out the government car, government car. She didn't hear. And as she was cooking us dinner, we were just taken from the ground, shoved in the car, and I never seen Mum again. All I remember is being in a cell with about 7 or 8 other kids who'd been stolen from the same mission, a Ramby West Cara mission. I don't know, remember what year, but we were all in a cell crying, and yes, we were all sitting in it till the next morning waiting for the courts to open at 9 o'clock to be made a state ward for no reason.
It was just like a school, but a living school, where I stayed there, lived there, because I was too young. I didn't know I was in an institution run by a government, and the welfare government at that.
And in Barry Training Farm, they used to line me up on sit me around a circle all hours of the night. And the housemaster used to come along and bolt us around the legs with a stump of wood, like he did to Gilbert, and he got a lump of wood and he bashed Gilbert all around the legs. That was one of the training experiences.
In the homes, you was classed as not a black man, but as a worker of the state, to do their chores and nothing more. If you didn't do it, you got bashed, as Robert and Gilbert explained. If you didn't do your chores, you got bashed until all hours of the night and full-on punishment.
Norman B. Tyndale, the physical anthropologist, wrote the theory of race in Australia, and it looks like a stud book. It looks like a breeding manual for animals. If you mix one full blood with one half caste equals a 3/4 caste. 1 3/4 caste mixed with 1 quadroon equals 1 half caste. And that's published in a scholarly journal, in an anthropological journal.
Eugenics was an idea which was extremely important in most Western countries, and the idea was that through breeding you would improve the race or the nation. You would breed out bad characteristics with large-scale plans. That is, you would sterilise the unfit, and that happened widely in many Western countries. And in Australia it took the form of trying to breed out the colour.
To say that you are not black, you know, lost your identity, where I didn't understand why is this happening to me? No? Why? Because am I black? You know? Is it because I am black? Are they picking on me like that? Or because I did do something wrong? And them sort of questions still baffle me today.
Well, I got to a certain age where I wondered who I was and where I came from. So I wrote a letter to the State Ward Office. And I was questioning who's my mum and who was my dad. They wrote me a letter back saying my mum and dad was dead. From what I learned, my father was still alive. And I eventually ended up meeting my mother. Really, I didn't ever got on with my mother. I didn't get on with my brothers and sisters because we all grew apart, because we were all stolen and split up.
No, I haven't forgiven. because at the time when I was institutionalised, my mother passed away when I was in the homes at Mittagong, which devastated me. They didn't let me go say my last goodbye to her, and not seeing her face ever again devastated me, and not to say goodbye to her at the final burying time, where it's for me being Indigenous, it was the most sacred thing for us to do in the dream time. Is to put our last respects or goodbye to the most people that we love. And that was God bless her, my mum.
We apologise for the laws and policies of successive parliaments and governments that have inflicted profound grief, suffering and loss on these our fellow Australians. We apologise especially for the removal of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families, their communities and their country. For the pain, suffering and hurt of these stolen generations, their descendants and for their families left behind, we say sorry.
Letting go of the past.
I don't think that sorry means anything to me, unless there's something more to it.